This is a SnapEd New York video presentation.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Samantha Oster. I am the Farm to Preschool Coordinator for the Eat Well, Play Hard and Child Care Settings program. We would love for you to join us in watching a short food demonstration. I hope you guys enjoy the video. This recipe is the Savoy Cabbage Slaw. Please make sure to review the ingredients in case of any allergens. This recipe makes 8 servings and comes in at approximately 65 cents per serving. Now I will go wash my hands before washing the fruits and vegetables. We want to make sure we wash all of our fruits and vegetables under running water. To prepare the cabbage, we remove the outer leaves and rinse the inside well. Cabbage is very nutritious. It is very high in vitamin C. It contains a lot of B vitamins and minerals. And it can be eaten steamed or boiled. You can fill the leaves with cooked meat, beans, or rice, or add it to a soup or a stir fry. So as you can see, I am pulling off all the outer leaves and rinsing off the cabbage on the inside. I'm also pulling it slightly apart just to make sure I get any dirt that may have gone inside. Now, aside from the cabbage, we also want to make sure we wash our limes. Our limes are going to be used for the dressing. Now, we don't need to wash the corn because the corn is within the husks. So these are all the ingredients that we need to wash up. Let's get started by chopping up all the vegetables. You may think the easiest way to cut a cabbage is to take a few of the leaves and start chopping them up in your claw, right? This is not the easiest way. If you really want to, you could do it this way, but this is not the easiest way. So now I am going to show you the easiest way. So we're going to take our large head of cabbage and we're going to create a flat surface. We're going to cut it straight down the middle. Isn't that so pretty to look at? Oh my goodness. Then we're going to take each half, cut it down the middle again. Then let me do this one to show you best. Then you're going to take your knife and you're going to cut out that little stem piece. Then we will repeat on the other half. We'll cut it in half again, separate it, and take out that little stem piece again. This will make it much easier to chop up your cabbage and not have to pull out the large chunks of the stem later. So now, as carefully as possible, it's kind of hard to get a claw on something that is this strange shape, right? Go ahead and chop it. Now you want to make sure it's in bite-sized pieces. So as you can see, I did another split up the middle. I'm trying to make sure it's bite-sized pieces, especially since the red cabbage was significantly smaller than this large green Savoy cabbage. So go ahead and continue chopping it up into smaller bite-sized pieces and throw them in your bowl, and we will measure it out later. So for now, you might as well just get it all chopped up and we'll worry about measuring it out later. Now you can refrigerate unwashed Savoy cabbage for up to 4 days. But seeing as we've already washed this cabbage, we might as well just chop it all up and then we could keep some in plastic bags to use later, like I said, in a stir fry, So again, we're going to repeat the same process with the red cabbage. We're going to take it and create a flat surface by splitting it in half and then split out that stem again. And the red cabbage is so pretty looking. It's so fun to look at the inside. So again, I'm using my claw and trying to be as careful as possible to pull out the stem. Sorry for the awkward angle. I'm just really trying to get a good shot of me pulling out that stem for you guys. So now we can go ahead and get started in slicing that up into bite-sized pieces. One way to do that is to make a slit up the middle, and that way it makes them bite-sized as it comes off. So let's talk about how to choose a cabbage. When you're trying to choose a cabbage at the store, you want to choose a cabbage that feels heavy and has crisp leaves with no brown spots. Now, of course, the outer leaves will be removed. So if there are some outer leaves that are, not great, try to get the best one you can that feels heavy and has the crispest leaves, and hopefully beneath it'll be just as great. A really great thing about this recipe is that as the red cabbage, now it kind of looks purple here, but as it sits in the vinegar, it really kind of leaches out that color into the recipe. And the next day, the refrigerated cabbage slaw is so pretty and delicious. So I almost like this cabbage slaw the next day better. Maybe because it's had more of a chance to marinate in that dressing. I'm not entirely sure, but it's really tasty. So we're going to finish chopping this up. We're going to need 8 cups of shredded Savoy cabbage, which is the green one, and 5 cups of this shredded red cabbage, which almost looks more purple in this frame. But trust me, it is red cabbage. So after we have all that set up, we'll set it aside in a bowl and start working on our 3 cups of corn. Before we can start cutting our corn, we have to shuck it. And again, I'm going to use the raw corn, but you can use canned corn. Just make sure you rinse it well in a strainer. If you really are having trouble pulling the ears of corn apart, feel free to microwave it for 20 seconds, but it should be fairly easy. Then you just go ahead and cut the corn off the cob into a small bowl. I like to use something with a lip so the kernels don't fly all over the place. However, you can use whatever you have handy. Again, this is a little awkward to cut, so I can't do the perfect claw, but do your best to be safe and try to keep your fingers away from the area where you are cutting. And again, we will be needing 3 cups of corn. So I believe each ear of corn produces about 1 cup. So let's take 3 ears of corn and chop those off. So once those are all ready and prepped, we can set them aside and get to work on our scallions. Now the reason we're using scallions in this recipe is because you could choose scallions or onion, but I feel scallions have a milder flavor. So once you have your claw, you can start chopping them up. Now, if you want even more of a mild flavor, you could use less of the white part and more of the green part, which is the part that I'm chopping now. And that will give you a much more mild flavor. But if you like the oniony flavor, which in this recipe, it's really tasty and it's not that much, so I'm going to use the white part as well. And I'm just going to throw this in a little container and set it aside so I can prep the rest of the dressing and throw it in together with the salad. All right, so let's get started on our dressing. So to make the dressing, we take a half teaspoon of salt, a very level half teaspoon of black pepper, and now we're going to get some limes and squeeze the juice out of them. We need a 1/4 cup. I'll probably have to wash my hands after this to prepare to toss the salad. But I'm going to try to see if 2 limes will be enough to make a 1/4 cup. It really depends on how juicy your limes are. If you don't have lime juice, you can also use vinegar. Next, I'm going to add in the salt and pepper to the lime and the 3 tablespoons of vegetable oil. Any oil is okay. And actually, there are several substitutions that can be made in this recipe. I will go ahead and show you now. You can also use a can of corn instead of fresh corn, or red and white onions instead of scallions. So after you mix it together, we're just going to mix it very well. I'm going to go wash my hands. That way we could pour the dressing over the salad and toss it well in a large bowl. So Miss Sam just took some time to wash her hands. If your hands get soiled at any point, feel free to wash again. And now I'm going to mix the salad in this large bowl. So we are now on step 2, which is make the salad. So we are adding in our 3 cups of corn. Now our 8 cups of shredded Savoy cabbage. It does not have to be an exact measurement. The Savoy cabbage actually has such a really neat texture that, it makes it spread out a little more, hence the large bowl. So the measurement won't be exact, but get roughly 8 cups on in there. And like I said, this will be step 2 because we already made the dressing, which was step 1, right? And now I'm just picking and choosing a few last good, nice, green, beautiful pieces because I really want this salad to be colorful and pop. And I'm going to measure in my 5 cups of red cabbage. Something that I find really neat is the day after, this recipe tastes even better. All the flavor really marinates. The dressing really gets into the cabbage the next day. And the red cabbage almost leaches its color into the rest of it. And it turns out so wonderful. Perfect to top fish tacos or to have as a side dish with whatever recipe or bring out to a barbecue with you. So now I'm going to try and give it a nice toss, but this is a pretty large salad, so I might just have to set this aside and use my hands to really get that corn because I'm not getting any corn from the bottom mixed in. So I'm just going to reach in this large bowl and toss the salad from the bottom up so I really get that all those corn pieces that were at the bottom and mix it in with all the other salad. And now I'm going to mix in my green onions. I almost forgot and started adding the dressing, but I'm going to mix in the scallions. Wow, how colorful is that? What a beautiful salad. Now I'm going to toss it with the dressing. So I'm just going to drizzle it over the salad. This will be step 3. And then after step 3, I'm just making sure I get every last drop. You toss gently again, and you can either serve it immediately or cover and refrigerate until you're ready to serve. Like I said, this salad tastes amazing the next day. Thank you so much for joining us, and I hope you guys enjoy this delicious recipe.
Thank you for joining us today. We know the healthy choice isn't always the easiest choice, but small changes can make a big difference. Start today by getting involved with SNAP Ed New York. This program is free for those who qualify or receive SNAP benefits. We want to help you save time, save money, and eat healthy. Learn how SNAP Ed can make a difference in your life. For more information and to find your local program, visit snapedny.org. This material is funded by USDA's Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. SNAP. This institution is an equal opportunity provider.